Hi everyone and welcome back to another video with me Shruti Vashisht. So today I want to speak to you about how you can create a joyful life even when you are, let's say, in a state of lockdown, or you're mostly at home even if it's not a lockdown. And lots of people that I know have been going through, these moments of frustration and this just feeling this sense of lackluster in their life because they're not able to do, able to interact socially as much as they would before, or do those things that they did, when they would move out of the house. So in this video, I'm going to bring you my best tips, about 3 tips today, for how you can create a sense of joy, like real joy, and really use this opportunity as well. I'm not saying that what's happening in the world right now is perfect, but I do believe that everything brings with it a sense of opportunity. And so what is the opportunity here, and how can you create joy? And I have lived for many years before this, not anymore, but in the past, almost like a hermit basically, because I wasn't working like a full-time job. Like people go out and they are always interacting with people socially when they go out, at their workplace, and otherwise I didn't have any of those things. Voluntarily I chose not to, and I would just stay at home and nurture myself and do all of those things that I'm going to be speaking about. I'm going to be giving you some of the tips that helped me to be joyful, because I was never bored. I was at home and I wasn't bored. And it's not that it's just only for introverts or anything like that. I really feel that the state of joy is a human thing. It's not about introverts and extroverts. I also am a spiritual guide, so some of these tips have to do with bringing more life into your life and the essence of joy. So if you'd like to hear what I have to say, then keep watching this video. Below this video, check out some links that I have to work with me at a personal level, and I have self-study courses as well that you can check out. Okay, so how can you be completely, blissfully, radiantly joyful during these times, during 2020, and who knows, maybe even a little bit beyond? So the first and perhaps the most important tip that I have for you is to bring nature in. So what do you mean by bring nature in? There's different things that you can do. You can bring in more plants into your environment, and this really changes something. It's not only about how it looks physically, but it's a form of life, and it's very, very alive, and we start to feel that. Not only does it change the air quality, but at the same time it's also this presence of life around us, and something within our being shifts, and finds that sense of connection that is natural, in a way that we don't necessarily have to the physical objects that we have bought and we own, the inanimate objects. So you can bring in more plants. And another way that you can bring in nature into your home, some of the other ways are, for example, working with natural ingredients and playing around with them, especially if you have time right now. A lot of us are working from home, so we have definitely more time at hand. Not for everyone, but a lot of people. And so it's when you are involved in working with nature, there's an aliveness, there's an exchange of aliveness, and this flow of aliveness that happens within our body. So you can work with things like, let's say, essential oils, if that's what you're into. You can cook, you can bring in natural ingredients and experiment with cooking. If you are not inclined in any of these things, let's say it's something you're into, you can pick up a latent hobby. For example, let's say you like filming or something, and you can just play around with the camera, find different angles, and discover some new ways. And this may even relate to your career, for example. So it's a time that you can really play, and you can work with creativity, and you can work with nature. And especially when nature and creativity combine, that is really a sense of joy, a sense of childlike magic, that blossoms within us. And it's like how children play. They don't need an excuse. They don't need to convince themselves. It's just something natural that's flowing within them. No matter what is happening, no matter what's happening in the world outside, they usually have this easy access to joy. And so that how we can do that, the very first way is to bring in more nature. Of course, if you can go out, there's nothing like that. If you I would highly suggest, if you are able to, you go out into nature for an hour every day, and then you can come back home and whatever, protect yourself and stuff. But time in nature is really number one for me. The second point that I have for you is to nurture yourself. So this is a great time again to slow down, almost like we have no option at this time, in many ways. So it's a great time to take that opportunity to slow down, to remember what it feels like, to nurture yourself. And you can nurture yourself physically, emotionally, mentally. Physically nurturing yourself may look like, whatever it is you love to do. Like, let's say you haven't had the time to do hair rinses in quite a while, but it's something you love, you can do that. Take more time in the shower. I'm not saying waste water, but whatever it is that you enjoy. When we come out of the shower, we apply lotion, especially natural ones, and just taking your time to do that, allowing the body to feel. It's the body that feels disconnected when we are feeling a lack of joy. It's because we are too much in our head, and it's all about this mental energy, and we're not connecting to the body. So these nurturing practices, whatever it is that you enjoy, whatever that means to you, when you hear the word nature and pamper and self-care, you can try that out, and it brings you back into the body. So this can also look like exercise, for example, yoga, Pilates, or whatever it is. And you don't have to spend the whole day, but make sure that you take out some time, whatever it means to you, to nurture yourself. Nurturing yourself emotionally as well. Part of emotional nurturing is also because we are usually you're sort of like locked in with other people, and things sometimes escalate and get a bit intense. A lot of people have been experiencing that. So it's important to be open to everyone, to be flexible, because that is what this time is calling for, is to look at the way that we have done things in the past where we weren't connected as much. You're living with someone, and almost like you don't even have the time to discover them, this journey that you have taken together, and it's an opportunity to get to know them at a more intimate level. But at the same time, it's important to be open to other people, and also to have firm boundaries, to know what those boundaries are and to decide them beforehand. So if you know that you have certain trigger points, you need your own space, like 1 hour in the day or whatever, and you don't get that, or it's close quarters and people are in your face all the time, then you can take out time. For example, in our home, we thought about having 1 hour in the day when nobody talks because it was getting too noisy, and somebody's always chatting, and other people can't work or whatever. So we devoted 1 hour to just staying silent, and nobody talks during that time. So then everybody gets to rest and do whatever they want to during that time. So and it's the same with, let's say there's some unhealthy patterns that other people pull you into. We love our family and our friends and whoever we live with, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that people don't fall into unhealthy patterns. So it's important to decide beforehand, and it's usually a little bit more hard if we haven't thought about this before, and we try and apply it in the moment, like what is my boundary, and we try and figure that out while it's happening, while things are escalating. So it's a good time to just sit down, maybe with a notebook, and write down what your boundaries are. Think about what your triggers are, where you've been triggered in the past, when things went a little bit downhill, and what those boundaries are. And you can communicate that to your partners if it feels right. And yeah, those are some ways that you can create healthy boundaries, and also be open to more intimacy, to spending time with your loved ones. Because then once you have boundaries, the time that you do actually spend together will be quality time. Then the third thing is to nurture yourself mentally. So this is very important, and all of these are connected. It's not really that separate, emotionally, mentally, physically. But if you are just tapping into the news all day, there's a lot of up and down that the media puts us through, and I believe that there's just certain news items that are highlighted for the day, and it takes us up and down. So I feel that if you want to watch the news, that's fine, but have, again, a designated time for it. Don't just check into Facebook and social media and all of those posts, or wherever it is that you're used to doing, that gives you a sense of anxiety if it does. So tap into your body and feel, am I feeling a sense of anxiety when I read these posts? So why do I keep going back to the news, or back to Facebook, or back to social media when I don't need it? Again, you can have a designated time in the day where you're doing this. Then the way to build new momentum in your mental energy is to, for example, what I found really useful is to take an online course for something that you're interested in. So I'm interested in, astrology and spirituality, manifestation and stuff like that. So even though I know about these things to a certain degree, it was nice to hear another person's opinion. And recently, in recent months, when the lockdown began, I ordered some courses and they were wonderful. And so I haven't had a chance to feel bored or to feel this lack of joy or anything like that. It's been actually really, really wonderful. This whole time that we have been at home, I've been working from home. I've been very, very productive. I have been doing my day job. At the same time, I had time to make more videos. I have another YouTube channel, so I've been making a lot of videos there. And I started this new one during this time. So you see, any skills that you are interested in, there's all kinds of even free information out there. You can even take courses or just find stuff on YouTube for whatever subject it is. You want to learn more about media, marketing, anything that you're interested in. So that is positive mental energy, where you're bringing in something new. You are bringing in creativity, which brings me to the next and last point. So my third point is being creative, and this is linked to the first 2 points as well, because how do you become creative? You become creative when you are you can use natural resources, whatever it is that you're interested in. Like I said, you're working with plants, you're working with herbs. You can, whatever it is that you're interested in, it's just going to vary so much for different people that I can't, if you like some form of dance or music, singing, and you haven't done that in really long, or you've been curious, the great thing is that these days so many people are doing stuff online. Like, there used to be these dance academies and stuff, and now suddenly they have online courses which they didn't before. It's the same with really anything, media, whatever it is you're interested in. So look that up as well. It might be on a discount at this time, and whatever it is. So you can find stuff if you just look. You can also do it-yourself sort of tutorials for whatever it is that you're interested in. Again, working with herbs, working with plants, aromatherapy, essential oils. These are just some things that I like, that I happen to like, but it'll be different for everyone. And for example, recently during this lockdown time, I really got into watching dancers and just being really fascinated by that. And recently I found some free online courses, not courses, but they're teaching these different songs. They're teaching the choreography to different songs. So I really enjoy doing that. I've just started to do that, and it's so much fun. It's healthy for the body. It gets the body moving. You're moving. So if you have that lackluster feeling because you're just sitting in bed all day or not moving around too much in front of your computer or the phone, this is really fun to do something like this that is new, that brings in this new energy instead of this stagnation that sometimes we can feel when we are at home. So the final thing that I will say, especially about being creative, is plan it beforehand, because it's more difficult for us, especially if we are in a rut or we're feeling this lack of joy, this lack of movement in our life. And when you are actually feeling that, it's harder to get up and do something or to decide what to do from that state, because it's a lower mental state of being. But if you plan beforehand, especially the evening before, the night before, and you have everything ready, let's say you want to, start like making candles by yourself or soaps by yourself, then you have all the ingredients ready the evening before or the day before, and you just have like a designated place for it as well. So all that you have to do is, when you're feeling it or you feel like you have some time, you get up and all you have to do is show up. You just go there, and that just creates this extra step towards success to make sure that it happens. And this also, when you do it on a regular basis, it brings that momentum that you do something, you enjoy it, and then tomorrow you're looking forward to it again. So again you set it up, then again it's very little effort during that time. All you have to do is show up. And the more that we actually play within this energy, the more that joy is ignited in our being, and that's the healthy cycle that starts. And then of course your home stops feeling like this containment zone, and rather becomes this place that is like your sacred space, something that you can create it the way that you want. And hopefully you even have more time to do that now, and more opportunities. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. These are just some tips that have really helped me. Some, like I said, I don't feel alone or lonely when I'm at home, or even if there's nobody there, there's just so much going on because I have all of these things. Of course, we all need socialization, so that's also important. I've been during this lockdown period, I've been speaking to my friends via Zoom, and I've connected to them so many times, friends from all over the world, in fact. And even like before, when things were normal, friends from all over the world, let's say we weren't even connecting that often because we were all busy in our lives, there's more of an opportunity. I've been connecting with them more. So there's an opportunity in everything, and it's all, just something. It's like a changing your state of mind. Okay guys, so I hope that these tips helped you. Please let me know in the comments below if you resonated with them. If you try them out, let me know how it goes, and what videos would you like to see from me. And here's me wishing you all the joy in the world, and just remember, it is all about creating. You are the creator of your own life. You can create it any way that you want. It's really just about seeing something beyond the surface and seeing that the power lies within you, and you can create it. You can influence your reality any way that you want. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and give this video a thumbs up if you got some wisdom today. I will see you in my next video.